Hey everyone, so it's been really exciting to ask Chung Fu about the ascended beings and the archangels, and so I wanted to ask Chung Fu today, how do the archangels in that sense in the worlds of light work with the deities? Lakshmi, goddess of abundance, and so today I'd love to ask Chung Fu, how do the archangels, specifically Raziel, work with Lakshmi in the realms of abundance and generating wealth from within? Peace.
Blessings and peace, dear ones. Yes, Jerome is such a wonderful bridge, and he really does bring me in to have these wonderful conversations with you. I am delighted to come forward. I am Chung Fu. And so indeed, you know, the power of words. You see, angels were named, archangels were named, deities are named, but they're all named in that sense by those who see them. And it's to realize you see some of it, but you don't see all of it. And it's still wonderful what is seen and what is brought forward, and the understanding is growing all the time as consciousness upon the earth expands, as beings have more and more experiences, embodied experiences. And that is indeed why we are working with the vehicle in this way of embodiment. That is part of her evolution. That is part of her soul growth, you could say. And that is something she loves to do because she experiences the presence. She loves, therefore, to bring them forward and to hear them also, because she can hear not everything, but she can hear them speaking through her, and that is very exciting also for her. Because being upon the earth, and especially I'm sure you realize at this time, it's a very extreme time, a very testing time, and therefore a very evolutionary time. And the more resource you have of the light, of the cosmic light, the Christ light, of the deities, the divinities, the angelic and archangelic beings, the ascended beings, the more you have the understanding that they are really here, the more you are going to open to them. And that changes your life. And it changes the lives of all those you come into contact with. You see, over time, your natural connection with the divine has been interfered with. It's been sort of stamped on in a way, and sort of ridiculed, and all kinds of tactics have been used to shut down the sensitivity of the human being to your own divinity. The fact that you're not disconnected, you can't be disconnected. How could you possibly be disconnected? You think God just sort of did a little drop, and then somehow you dropped down to earth, somehow landed in a body, and no. This is a completely integral process of your arriving on the earth through all the dimensions from the source, and having, you could say, a series of lives. They happen in waves. So you will have, maybe 20, sometimes 30 lives in an era, you could say, from maybe of a few thousand years. But you will have had others also on earth in much earlier times, and you will have had series of lives all over the cosmos, because, well, you must understand, you surely must realize that it's a very huge cosmos. It's not just, in a sense, just one creation. It is many creations, and yet they are all connected. So when we speak of angelic beings, deities, and we give them these names, what really is being perceived is the light, is the frequency, is the love, is the mystery, the miracles. If you look at the earth and you look at all of creation, and your mind cannot comprehend really as a human being, well, how did all this come into being? But I say to you, you know more than you think you know, because you are part of the divine. You are one with the divine. You have been part of all creations throughout well, timeless time, not even in time, beyond time. When I say these things, take a breath for a moment and let that sink in. You're not separate from the angels either, or the archangels. You're not separate from Chung Fu. You're not separate from each other. And I'm sure you've realized that in a lot of different ways. And yes, we have to somehow kind of create a quasi-separation by kind of bringing you back from how, in fact, sort of connected up and sometimes muddled up and kind of attached you get to beings you don't really understand, and you get affected by in a negative way. So the oneness is not always positive. It can be that, well, I just find myself in a dark environment, and then I get dark and I feel dark, and then I get down, and then I don't know how to pull myself back to the light. So in this physical universe, there's the duality, and that is why we have to understand the oneness at the high frequency level of your being, of divine beings, deities, angelic beings, and archangelic beings. These are beings that have been named, but you have got other cultures, named in your English language. That, for example, you talked about the goddess Lakshmi Devi. So there are cultures where there are recognized divinities who are known to be direct embodiments of the one, of the divine. So they can be, in that sense, the portals for your whole devotional practice, because they are one. They are literally emanating from the divine. You could say they are like doorways to the source. And you can really come through any deity and understand that. Now, the angelic beings, however, yes, they are one with the divine. Yes, they bring the message direct from the source, but they choose, you could say, to be the vessels of the deities. So we could say that they're equal, but they also are especially purposed. Their purpose, their divine purpose, is to have contact with you. That is it. They are the messengers. And so they will bring that radiance of the divine presence directly to you. So we can say that you can go directly through a deity to the divine source. You can go directly through an angelic being to the divine source. And yet the purpose of an angelic, an archangelic being is to communicate with you, is very much to come in and to speak to you, to give you that message. When I say speak, I don't necessarily mean in words, but to communicate with you. The deities, on the other hand, require you to lift yourself right up and to, in that sense, bring your divine essence through. And that is a mystical experience, which of course the angelic beings and archangelic beings also facilitate. And in this particular case, we are talking about Archangel Raziel. And this being offers you the portal to that divine connection. So we could say the key to the door that opens the portal for you to experience divine oneness. Blessings and peace.
Blessings and peace.